wrap for Melody Cherie Rogers on Love and Marriage Huntsville. She's officially announced that she will not be returning to the reality TV series. Look, there have been a lot of signs that Melody was done with OWN, that she was done with Carlos, because she unfollowed him, she's said some things on social media, and most recently, she revealed some things about her issues with the show and how it's being produced, and someone, a producer, on her show basically wanted to be her TV manager, and when she said no, she felt as if there was retaliation.
Today, we're diving deep into the ratings for the show that Melody Cherie walked away from. If you're tired of hearing watered-down takes and want the real truth, you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit that like button because the numbers speak for themselves, and I promise you, they don't lie. Stick around until the very end because we're going to break down exactly what's happened to the ratings, the behind-the-scenes drama, and how everything has shifted completely since Melody stepped away. This isn't just gossip. This is a reality check you're not going to want to miss. Let's start with the facts. No ratings, no Melody, no blueprint. That's what it's looking like. The season premiere of Love and Marriage Huntsville without Mel pulled in only 219,000 viewers. The demo rating? A 0.03. That's already shockingly low. But here's the kicker.
What's going on? I got too much I'm doing. I can talk to you and give you some advice, but you gotta want to do it. I can't spend a whole lot of time talking if you ain't trying to grow. You ain't trying to grow, you ain't trying to evolve. I can't even spend a whole lot of time talking to you. And you do opposite of what I say, or you ain't listening, and that's just, I've had that situation multiple times in life, and it's like the person has to want to grow and be better and do better. And my hope, what I want for all of us, is I want all of us to grow. Every day is a day and an opportunity for us to grow.
It dropped even further. The next episode fell to 197,000 viewers. That's a 10% decline in just 1 week. The demo rating sank to 0.02, setting a brand new series low. That's not a coincidence. That's not bad luck. That's a loud, clear message from the audience saying, we're not watching without Melody. Viewers are voting with their remotes, and they're not buying what's being sold. Now, sure, the following week, the numbers ticked up slightly to 200,000 viewers. Some folks tried to spin that as a win. Look, we're back over 200K, they said. But let's be real, that's barely a bump. That's not a recovery. That's not a comeback. If anything, it shows desperation. It's the network grasping at any positive scrap they can find, but the truth is obvious. There's a huge hole in this show without Melody. And here's why. Melody brought something you can't fake. She was genuine. She was open. She gave us real-life drama that wasn't scripted, wasn't staged, and wasn't a recycled storyline we'd seen a dozen times before. Carlos King tried to make it look like anyone could be slotted into that space and the machine would keep running. But that's not how this works. That's not how loyalty works. You can't downplay the importance of the person who carried the show for years and expect the fans, especially the ones who supported her through everything, to just settle for recycled plots with no heart. It doesn't matter how many forced arguments you stage, how many fake relationships you try to pass off as real, or how many expensive trips you send the cast on. If the emotional core is missing, the audience feels it. Melody Cherie was that emotional core. Now, let's talk about the rest of the cast. The only reason the old formula worked was because Melody's presence balanced everything. Yes, Martell Holt brought drama, affairs, scandals, chaos, but without her, he's just another loud man trying to stay relevant. Marcel Scott and Letitia Scott tried to grab the spotlight, but all it's giving is déjà vu. How many more times can we watch Letitia pretend everything in her marriage is fine while Marcel dances around questions about honesty and loyalty? Then there's Kimmy Scott. She used to be the calm, reasonable one, but now she's playing both sides. She heard what was being said about Melody, she saw the shade, and yet she stayed neutral. Over time, that neutrality turned into misplaced loyalty, and the viewers noticed. We remember how often Melody was thrown under the bus in confessionals, right after those same people smiled in her face. Letitia questioning whether Melody was really part of a power couple. Kimmy making sly comments about Mel not being who she seemed. If you go back and rewatch season 1, you can see it start small, then build. It went from light shade to straight up disrespect. They didn't stand by her. They used her momentum to keep themselves relevant. And now that she's gone, they've got nothing new. The show feels stuck in the past. They're trying to give old drama a fresh coat of paint, but the audience isn't fooled. The ratings prove it. The awkward cast interactions prove it. Even online fan reactions prove it. The excitement that once existed is gone, and no amount of dramatic music or manufactured fights is going to bring it back. Carlos King and Martell have even taken shots at the audience, mocking loyal viewers, especially the male fans who helped build the platform. Well, those fans are now watching the numbers drop, and it's only a matter of time before other shows like Ready to Love or Heart and Hustle take the top spot. The idea that Love and Marriage Huntsville could survive forever just recycling old cheating scandals is dead. You can't keep pushing the same he said, she said storylines without proof, without growth, without anything real to show for it. The push to center the men as the main stars backfired completely. Instead of inspiring respect, it brought more on-screen disrespect. Men talking over women, dragging them into pointless arguments just to get airtime. It crossed boundaries, turned toxic, and the audience checked out. Reality TV works when the stories are grounded in real life, real conflict, and real healing, not when they're built on staged nonsense. So that little 3,000 viewer bump doesn't mean people are coming back. If anything, it's confusion, people tuning in too early before realizing nothing's changed. Meanwhile, Love and Marriage Houston is starting to gain traction. Once people see the vulnerability and real emotion coming from Houston, Huntsville's in trouble. You can't fake chemistry. You can't fake genuine friendship or sisterhood if it never existed in the first place. Fans are already speaking up, calling for a complete overhaul. They want bold storylines, they want real growth, they want something fresh. What they're getting right now is recycled drama with no resolution. The same fights, the same grudges, the same lack of closure. And the biggest complaint? Many of the original cast members are in the exact same place they were 5 seasons ago. No progress in their relationships, no progress in their finances, no progress emotionally. It's frustrating to watch. Kimmy is still bouncing between sides. Letitia and Marcel are still stuck in the same trust issues. Viewers aren't just bored, they're irritated. They want to be inspired. They want to be entertained. Bringing in new couples could be the answer. Fresh faces would mean fresh conflicts, new alliances, new rivalries. People want to see young, ambitious couples building a legacy, showing Black excellence in a modern, relatable way. There's a whole community out there with untapped stories. And it's not just about adding people. The entire format needs to be updated. Stop relying solely on the messy relationships of a few legacy couples. Bring in entrepreneurs, community leaders, power couples making real moves. Show real estate deals being made, businesses being built, women balancing motherhood and leadership. The same old cheating scandal formula is worn out. Viewers can predict the storyline now. Someone cries, someone lies, and by the reunion, everything's back to square one. That worked in the early days, but audiences in 2025 want more depth. They want authenticity, vulnerability, and complexity. The truth is, some of the original cast have lost their connection with the audience. What once felt raw now feels curated and polished for Instagram. Fans don't want a highlight reel. They want the real story. Bringing in couples who have something to prove and nothing to lose could restore that connection. Fans are so invested they're starting petitions, tagging ON executives, making TikToks, and flooding YouTube comments. This isn't hate, it's passion. People care about the show and they don't want to see it die. But ON and Carlos King need to move now. Wait too long, and even the most loyal supporters will walk away. And make no mistake, fans don't forget. We remember how Melody was treated. We remember the lack of support. We remember the shade. And we're not going to pretend it didn't happen just because the cast wants to act like everything's fine now. We saw it. We heard it. And unless there's real change, new energy, new stories, new perspectives, this show will keep losing viewers. The opportunity is still there. Season 11 could be the start of a brand new era, but only if they take action. Otherwise, Huntsville will go down as a cautionary tale in reality TV, a show that had everything but lost it all when it forgot what made it special. At the end of the day, the message from the fans couldn't be clearer: change or watch the show fade away. Viewers aren't asking for miracles, they're asking for honesty, progress, and stories worth investing in. They want to see growth in relationships, business wins, personal breakthroughs, something that feels real, not recycled. Season after season, the numbers keep telling the same story. Without Melody, the spark is gone. The loyalty she built can't be replaced with filler drama and staged arguments. Audiences are smarter than that. They know when something's authentic, and they know when it's all smoke and mirrors. The choice is in OWN's hands. They can bring in fresh faces, fresh energy, and fresh storylines. Or they can keep recycling the past until the last viewer walks away. Huntsville could be reborn, but it's going to take bold moves, not safe plays. So here's my final thought. The fans built this platform, and the fans will decide its future. If OW doesn't listen now, it might be too late later. And once the audience checks out, there's no coming back.